What's up, guys? How y'all doing? It's me, Johnny, and welcome back to another one of our Sorare videos. I'm extremely excited to hop on today again, and I want to try and be more active on the channel because I feel like there's a lot of people that have now come into Sorare that are looking for content. And as someone that absolutely adores Sorare content and likes to listen to it as soon as it comes out, I know for a fact that there isn't enough. So I want to provide you guys more content, and hopefully we'll get a lot of other people involved. I've been seeing a lot of new content creators jumping into Sorare as well, which is amazing to see. So, guys, we finished in a decent spot last time around. When we talked, we were in Matchday 2, and you guys can see we finished 45th in under 23 rare, which I'm extremely excited about because we were lacking a few rewards lately. And luckily, things have worked out for us. We had a 42.4 point game from Kivior against Saudi Arabia. I was kind of hoping for more, especially considering that they had that clean sheet. So without the clean sheet, it would have even been a bit worse. But he picked up a yellow card, outfouled someone. He was up at like 58 at some point, and then yeah, things came crashing down due to the fouls and everything. An error led to shot as well. Like within just a few seconds, he had lost like 10 points. So that was a bit odd and it was painful because he was doing better than Glick in terms of his scores. But it's okay. We got ourselves a tier 3 rare, which I'm actually quite okay with. And Musiala stepped up. Enzo Fernandez stepped up. As you guys might know now, if you have been watching the World Cup, he has been absolutely incredible. I mean, Enzo Fernandez coming on for Argentina and now starting for them has been a game changer for them. I mean, no one can deny that. He has had the most impact on the Argentina team, apart from Messi, I would argue. So I'm really happy to see him perform to the level he's performed at, bringing us 68.8 points in the previous game week. And Musiala against Spain, it was obviously a tough game. If you consider that he had gone ahead and missed a huge chance, 1v1 against the keeper, could have easily squared it to his teammate to get an assist, but he was just focused on the ball. And in that moment, you could tell the inexperience of a Musiala. Like Musiala, normally when you see him play, it's all about those tight moments where he's surrounded by players and he somehow finds a way to dribble through them, right? But in this case, as soon as the ball came through, he looked around himself and was like, oh, there's no one here. I can't dribble. So I have to take a shot now. And you could tell the process going on in his mind, and he just didn't focus on the right thing. And he should have just put his head up. But the one thing I really loved about that situation was in the interview after the game, he personally had said, like, it's a huge mistake of mine. I just need to pick my head up and I would have easily found my teammate, but I'm going to learn from this. And that's what I'm looking for in a young player. And now a lot more people are catching on to the whole, Musiala being a huge talent thing, because obviously at Bayern Munich, he has been incredible. And now he has stepped it up to another level now with Germany as well, which is lovely to see. So that one gave us a tier 3 reward. Let me show you guys who I managed to pick up as a reward. We got ourselves Elias Melkersen. Now, I had never heard of this guy up until the moment, obviously, where I won him. So let me show you guys and also show myself his stats, because I haven't really done too much research. He has recently sold for like 83 euros, it seems like. His floor price is at 118, which is fine. If you consider that this is just a tier 3 rare reward, I'm totally fine with it. So in that case, we just move. And we can see that he hasn't necessarily had the best scores. Like I've asked people on Twitter, and people on Twitter were like, Jenny, he misses a lot of chances. The striker that was supposed to play for him, because their main striker apparently was injured, he has come into the team and he has not necessarily stepped it up. So someone is now back from injury and he's going to probably take over his position. But then again, he's only 19 years old, so might just be one of those that I hold on to use in underdog rare. But ideally what I want to try and do is, with all these tier 3, tier 2 rewards that I'm winning, I want to compile them all together and then go ahead and swap them for a big player, because then I have basically won that player. That's at least what I'm telling myself. I'm kind of hoping that at some stage I can look at these players and be like, okay, I have like 10 tier 3s, or I don't know, a bunch of tier 2s that I'm not really necessarily into. I'm not looking to sell them. How about we just swap these out for an actual tier 1, tier 0 type player that I really like? So that's the kind of thing I want to try and work myself towards, because then I can kind of tell myself, hey, I won this card, or I earned this card. Let's put it that way. Instead of going out onto the market and buying it, I kind of earned it. But that's just a me thing. I don't know if you guys are the same. I might end up selling these players, but then again, We'll see what happens there. I mean, if he gets in another good performance here in their next game week, maybe, just maybe, we can get something out of him. But yeah, Melkerson is here. He's a Norwegian talent, obviously not quite the Haaland. And then also we have an Ethan Ampado silver National Series item. So what I'll probably end up doing is after the World Cup is done, what I want to kind of do is go ahead and give away all the National Series cards I have, one to my community. So if you guys are collecting players or trying to put these players into that album, I will go ahead and hopefully help you out with that by giving away my winnings from the whole entire World Cup tournament. At least that's what I'm trying to do. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Just to add a little bit of spice to my private league. Talking about the private league, actually, let's go into it. Currently in our private league, my friends, Sorare Fellowship. I am 999th at the moment as things stand. The ranking will be final on the 2nd of December, it says. What does that mean? Oh, like when all the games are done for this match day. Oh, okay. I see. All good. So number one right now in my private league is Pires. He has Gakpo, Otamendi, Frenkie de Jong, Jordan Pickford, Lionel Messi. Congratulations, my man. You are doing an incredible job here. Obviously very impressed with his performances. But then again, I will let you guys know, of course, you know, the winners of my giveaways that I'm gonna do for through Sorare, that they have given them to us. What I want to try and do is I want to give it to people that have been here since match day 1. So anyone that joins in later on might have just realized, oh, I'm doing really well in this Global Cup. Let me just try and join every single Global Cup private league out there. I want to make sure that the people who have been here from match day 1 are going to be rewarded. So I will try. Apparently, I can go ahead into like specific match days, right? I can go like into the past match day and then check my private league and then see who has been doing well in that private league for me since match day 1 and kind of try and reward those people. That was someone at Sorare, my contact at Sorare told me that. But what I can tell here, I don't really see where my private league scores are or what my private league was doing in match day 2. So I can't actually do that. That is a bit odd. So I'm thinking about possibly closing down my private league, just so you guys know. But then again, the whole sign up thing is still going on. As you guys can clearly see here in the top right, people are still joining, and we have 2,506 people in there already, which is amazing to see. But yeah, I'll see what I do about that. I'll make a decision. But guys, this game week, we are looking at Kivior coming in with a clearance off the line. Extremely happy to see that. He brings me a nice 60 points. And then Enzo Fernandez, what a player. He is on fire again. I mean, let's take a look at it on Sorare data because it just looks better. So right now on Sorare data, we are 51st. Guardiola is in the starting 11. In about 40 minutes, the game will be starting between Croatia and Belgium. I'm very excited about that one. And I do hope that I can see at least a 60-point game from Guardiola. He has been extremely consistent and performing really well. And you can see these scores like 53, 70. No, that 53 is not from the World Cup. 70 and 58. I mean, those scores are really, really nice. Guardiola, I'm very happy to have him in the club. And it seems like a lot more people are starting to pick up on Guardiola. And I do believe as we move further into the tournament, the teams that get knocked out, their player values might see a little bit of a drop, just a little bit. And then the players that are still part of the tournament might see like prices going up, as we can see right here. I bought Guardiola for 971 euros and he's already up to like 1,141. So that's a good thing to see, because lately I feel like there's been a lot of negativity in the markets. I can personally tell from my experience that a lot of my player values have been going down. But at the same time, I'm really enjoying the Global Cup. Like the free-to-play game mode is amazing. There's a lot of engagement on social media. And I personally really like talking about it with my friends. I've brought a couple of my friends into Sorare and we have like our own private league and it's just really fun. Like we all are talking about the game. So I'm really excited about that type of stuff. And ideally, I want to see from Guardiola a 60+ score and then Musiala coming in with like a 90 to 100 base score alongside with the captaincy. I mean, I'm going to say it like this. If Musiala, along with the captaincy, doesn't get me at least 100 points, I'll be disappointed, because Enzo performed on a level that was unheard of. In 79 minutes, this guy got 90+1. He got himself an assist with a through ball to his old River Plate teammate, Julian Alvarez. It was just a beauty to see these two players just connect again. And that's on the biggest stage of world football, because a lot of Sorare managers out there will feel a lot of pride in knowing these players from back in the day when they played in Argentina for River Plate. And then they all moved to Europe, and now they're connecting again, reconnecting again at the World Cup. And it's been just beautiful to see. So he came in with 90 plus 1. He got a double-double, and just ridiculous. Like, this guy's such a beast. Possession-wise, the impact he's had on the game, he was the pivotal point in that midfield, sitting a little bit deeper, shifting the ball from left to right, and even moving into the attack, dribbling past players, putting passes in, attempting assists, and all those things. He was just a joy to watch. And I couldn't tell you how excited I am about Enzo Fernandez. I think his graph, again, I bought him back here. You can tell, like, in terms of value decrease, I mean, it's been a mental ride. 2.9 ETH I paid for him. He's down to 2. I personally expect him to go back to around these ranges, especially with after the World Cup. A lot of people that have joined Sorare will be completely hooked on it, and these people will try and buy players now. In my opinion, as soon as the free-to-play game mode is done, that's the point where I personally expect a lot of new users to come in. And I genuinely do believe once they do announce the Premier League, which I 100% believe is coming, once they do announce that, with the hype of the Premier League and then carrying it over from the World Cup into the Premier League, now a lot of people don't have anything free to play to jump into apart from the commons, which will still be quite competitive and fun for people. But I believe a lot of people will be joining in onto the side of things where, we see prizes rise again. I personally do think it's going to happen. And if you look at, like, let's look at last year, around, what was it? Was it last year? Let's go all, just so we can, like, oh, he hasn't been on the platform long enough. I guess I have to go with someone else. Let's go Musiala. I think with Musiala, we'll be able to tell as well. But then again, he was injured at a certain point in time. Maybe that's not going to be accurate. But you can see here, like, yeah. So around January and February, that was where Musiala was, like, extremely expensive. And a lot of players' graphs look like this, where January, February, they were just spiking incredibly high. And then everything came down again. And now it's going up and then down and up and down. Like, all that stuff is happening. And I believe that with the World Cup hype, with the new user base, with the advertising, with the brand recognition that is going on around the world right now, and how much Sorare has been putting their brand out there and advertising, I do think it's gonna be huge for new users coming in. And actually, going into the charts here, we can see that, oh, look at that. Look at that. That's beautiful. So let's go back to when the World Cup started. I think it was like mid-November, right? So 177,000 people with one card or more. That has already increased to 185,000. So we're already gaining like 10K. And you can see the graph is kind of going like this. And I really hope it continues down into the other areas as well. We have 5 cards or more really growing. But you can just tell from down here, like around October, we had around 106,000 people with 5 cards or more. Obviously, you need 5 to compete, apart from the specialist, the underdog, where you don't need a keeper. But you can see that 106,000 number went up to 114, 115,000 now, which I really like to see. I think Sorare is going to go places, but it really comes down to being patient and just enjoying the game. Like, don't look at the price of your players constantly. I think that's the thing that really hinders a lot of people from actually enjoying the game. And I found myself making that mistake too at times. It's just a normal thing to do, but only invest as much as you feel comfortable with investing. And I wouldn't say invest, play with the money. Like, this is not a thing where you invest money and then you expect it to be worth a lot more sometime in the future. This is a game after all. Look at it like FIFA points. You put it in and it's gone, right? Look at it like that. I think Quinny says that all the time. I think it's a really good way of looking at Sorare. And if things go up, hey, that's cool. And with new users coming in, I personally expect things to go up, especially in my opinion. Limiteds are going to go up again. I know there's a lot of supply when it comes to limiteds, but I do believe when you look at all the new users coming in, once the Global Cup thing stops, the Premier League advertisement comes in, the Premier League licensing comes in, I think the first place people will go to is limiteds, because Sorare had done a great job in, bringing limited prices down. Let's be real. They have brought it down with the massive amounts of supply and all those things. And I personally do think that it was kind of done on purpose, and it's not a bad thing. I think it's only realistic because 1,000 of each card each season is a high number, and for that to really keep prices stable, you need a huge influx of new people coming in. And once the free-to-play side with the Global Cup is done, I personally believe that the first place people will look to is limited, because it's going to be the cheapest way of playing the game and still having some sort of success. So I think the limited side of things is probably going to go up again. But then again, this is not financial advice. It's just my personal opinion. I am not an expert. I just personally think it could go well. And I'm hoping that things will go well for us moving forward. So very excited about this. And I have found out for myself that in, where is it? Matchday 7, I believe I am back in with the teams. Yes. So under 23 rare, we will have Muric, Garcia de Albanese for the second division in Spain, Harvard Bellis with Muric, and then Zion Fleming as well. So up until that point, ideally, I want to bring in someone else to fulfill a fifth spot here, or possibly play under 23 Pro, because as you guys do know, we do have Marcelinho Nunez, who hasn't really featured much with Norwich lately. He has to kind of work his way back into the team, and I really hope he does. But it seems like Matchday 7, we slowly go back into our ways with the players from the championship and all that good stuff. So that is going to be something to look out for. But I personally have been looking at a lot of players lately, and I kind of want to scout a bunch of people, a bunch of players that I want to kind of target as players that I would love to bring in the future. So going into the under 23 player rankings, if we look at it right now, and we look at like L15, L40. I think for me, I think in terms of defenders, like actually, let's go over to my gallery. And I want this video to be something where you guys go into the comments down below and let me know your thoughts. It's like a kind of a roundup before we go deeper into Sorare content moving forward. I kind of want to give people an idea of where I think I'm standing. So here's the deal. Destanoglu was brought into the team as a player that I personally thought he would do really well for Besiktas, and I was really hopeful. But then, as you guys can clearly tell, he has been dropped out of the team. But here's the thing. Destanoglu is only 21 years old. I still have plenty of time when it comes to under 23 utility with him. And on top of it, I am already seeing a lot of rumors in Turkish media that he is looking to move in January. Once that happens, I think he goes to a team where he actually plays. He desperately wants to go to Europe. So I personally am kind of expecting like a Belgium, Netherlands, or possibly even Bundesliga type of move for him, because apparently a lot of teams from those regions have been interested in him, especially Borussia Dortmund came in to watch him and scout him, but they weren't really convinced. And I kind of understand that. Destanoglu has been lacking a lot of confidence. He was a decent goalkeeper at times, but then, you know, the confidence is gone, and it feels like a Karius type situation, where once the confidence is gone, the player is really, really suffering. And I think he needs that move to bring the confidence back into his life. And I'm very excited to hopefully see him do well in the future. But right now, we don't have utility with him. So goalkeeper-wise, I'm only looking at Muric, and I'm looking at Anthony Morris as my good options. And Kavlina, though, surprisingly, I got to be honest, he has stepped up. Like last 2 games, he has stepped up massively. And if he can carry on, I don't need another under 23 goalkeeper. Oh, this is new. Oh, I did not know that. Look at how the card moves. That's kind of cool. Hey, well done, Sorare. The small details. Anyways, so in terms of goalkeepers, I'm very excited to see Osako come back at some point. I don't know exactly when that is. If anyone could go ahead and let me know when the Japanese league is coming back, I'd really appreciate it. But once Osako is back, I think in under 23 Rare Pro, we are going to be in a great position, because technically, we will be in a great position for under 23 Rare and Rare Pro, in my opinion. Because for the under 23 Rare Pro, we will have Osako, and we will also have Mace Hilgers and Sanuc as a backup super rare. Hilgers and also Osako are players that can score really well. So that's goalkeeper and defender, right? And then ideally, I would use one of Enzo Fernandez or Orkun Kökçü or Xavi Simons, or even Szymanski, who has been doing incredible things for Feyenoord. One of these players would then go into that lineup, into the under 23 Rare Pro, or even Nakamura. I mean, look at those scores. His L5 and L15 are ridiculous. And for the forwards, now we finally have those amazing players. We finally have Jamal Musiala in the team, which I'm extremely excited about. Maybe Šeško revives his career in the second half. Balikwisha has been solid. Odgaard has been solid. But for me, my eyes go straight onto Florian Wirtz and Musiala, because Wirtz, once he is back, boys, I expect Bayer Leverkusen to fly. If you look at the scores from Florian Wirtz in the past, this kid is amazing. Like, he is genuinely, genuinely amazing. And as a forward, he has such good scores. I cannot wait for him to be healthy again. In my opinion, he might even be more talented than Musiala. Now, having said that, obviously the injury is going to be a major setback. He has not played for a very long time, but I've been keeping track of what Florian Wirtz is doing off camera in the training sessions and all those things. The reports I've been reading, and it looks like things are going well. And he was actually rumored to play before the World Cup, but then they decided, you know what? We'll just leave it and we'll get you fully fit for the second half of the season, because he was really close to playing at that point. It gives me so much hope that once the season kickstarts again, which is on the 22nd of January, I think he's going to be on the pitch. And if he is, I'll be the happiest man. I cannot wait, because I think Florian Wirtz is going to be an incredible asset to have. So looking at him and Musiala, we now have two incredible under-23 forwards who are most of the time going to be delivering. So I can rely on those along with the midfielder or even the defenders to go ahead and get something in under-23 Rare and Rare Pro. But I think personally speaking, there's one thing I really need to work towards, and that might be... Actually, having said that, Osako and Muric are good scorers. I don't think I desperately need another under-23 goalkeeper. That's just how I feel. Sometimes I feel like I am not doing as well as other people because they're goalkeepers. My main issues in under-23 for the first half of the season have been the striker position. My defenders and midfielders were performing really well. But in terms of forwards, I was struggling. I fixed that issue now. I now have Musiala. I now have Wirtz. I'm going to be fine in that sense. But in the sense of goalkeepers, I don't know if I am fine. Because if we go into the under-23 goalkeepers, you can see that Diego Costa is a massive one. He is performing on a level that my goalkeepers were not able to keep up with. I mean, look at those scores. That looks like he's freaking Messi, but he's actually a goalkeeper. So his scores have been great, and I've not been able to compete with that. And most of the people on the platform actually have Diego Costa at this point. So that's maybe something to try and work towards by gathering the rewards, putting in an offer to one of these trading accounts, and hopefully getting ourselves someone like that. Apart from him, I've been looking at this guy, Yevan Diouf. So he is someone that has just recently taken over the goalkeeper position at Stade. And I don't know, not Stade, Reims, I don't know. Well, however you pronounce it, I probably am pronouncing it wrong. But he seems like a really good option. But then again, I'm kind of worried because, you know, the French league, like, he has under 23 until 2024, which is something I really like. If I do bring in an under 23 goalkeeper right now, it has to be someone that is going to be there for at least 2 seasons. Because I do have Osako, who's going to be there for a long time. Kavlina as well, but Muric is going to be running out of under 23. So I will probably then go ahead and end up using him as a second division goalkeeper. But then again, Burnley's probably going to go up into the Premier League. So I don't know. I'll probably just use him as a Champ Europe goalkeeper at that point, if that ever happens. But yeah, we'll have to make a decision on Muric at some point. But yeah, Diouf looks like a very good option in terms of a goalkeeper. Diogo Costa as well. So I'm looking at the positions where I'm really lacking talent, and I'm trying to pinpoint the areas where I need to strengthen. And that way, I want to make sure that we win more and more moving into the future, not because of the monetary value, just because winning is fun. So in terms of SF5 stats, I think we have been doing all right. I mean, we have brought in some sort of consistency. Game week 324, 322, 320, 318, 314, we had 3 rewards. Then there was a huge gap, right, up until game week 306. So I think we are slowly getting more and more consistent, and that's something I really like seeing. I want to try and continue that as much as possible. But ideally, I want to see more rewards, like a Sheshko. Like, I want to see more tier 0s, tier 1s, or high-ranked tier 2s. That is the area that I need to kind of aim towards with my gallery, because I think I do have the pieces at this point. So today could be a huge chance. With Guardiola and Musiala playing, I'm very excited to hopefully see ourselves do well. But there is one thing I need to mention. I think the price pool decrease from the previous game week to this game week has been a bit ridiculous. If you look at the past game week and you look into under 23s, we had a price pool of up to 130, right? And then this game week, it has been decreased to 76. That's like nearly half of it, right? And I don't like that, because what we have been told throughout the World Cup period has been that we are going to increase price pools during the World Cup period. And yes, I understand there have been less matches outside of the World Cup that have impacted the prize pool. The Spanish second division apparently doesn't have as many games. And under 23s outside of the World Cup, there aren't as many. So they have dropped the prize pool a little bit. But it's not a little bit, it's too much. I think something that would have been fair would have been like 90 to 100 rewards. But 76 really seemed like a really low number to me. So I'm really kind of upset about that. I wish there was a little bit more communication, because I thought what I personally kind of expected was that we would see the same amount of rewards throughout the group stages. And then once the knockout stages come, then there's a cutoff, and obviously only half the teams play. So you then expect the rewards to kind of half as well. But now that we have gotten into a position where, you know, the knockout stages aren't even here, but we're already seeing like a cutoff of like 50% of the rewards pool, I'm a bit worried. I really hope that as we go into the knockout stages, we don't end up just having 20 people being able to win rewards. That's what I'm kind of hoping for. I really want to keep it fun and engaging, but if they keep dropping it as much as they have with this week, that would be a bit of a disappointment. So I'm really hoping that doesn't happen. I hope Sorare get it right in the upcoming game weeks as well. But looking into the under 23 for the upcoming game week, if we ever could, can we? Can I please? What the hell is going on here? Can I please see what is going on? Okay, it's kind of stuck. Hello? Why is this not working? Is my internet gone? My internet is here. Hold on, guys. I'll fix this in a second. Okay, I think I fixed it. So, as we can see, next game week, we also have the 76. And that is a bit worrying. I mean, let's look at it. Outside of the World Cup, obviously, in the World Cup, we only have 4 games. So that's not necessarily a huge number. So I can totally understand the drop. And then from La Liga Smartbank, the second division in Spain, we have 12 games. And then outside of that, Serie B is back. I didn't know that. Primera A, what is that? I don't even know what division that is. Chinese Super League plays, but I don't think there are many under 23s over there. So I guess that kind of justifies the prize pool. Let's compare that to this week, for example. Let me see how many matches we have here. So we have 16 World Cup games, which is obviously significantly more than just 4 games for the next match game week. And then outside of it, we have the Chinese Super League, which again, I don't know a lot of under 23s. We have 2 games from La Liga Smartbank. Primera A is there as well. I'm assuming that is from South America. So we don't have many games there. So I guess in terms of matches and all that, it kind of makes sense that the prize pool is smaller. But at the same time, I thought as long as we had as many games as we do in a World Cup, we would kind of see the prize pool held up. At least that was my personal hope. But I guess I was kind of wrong. But hey, it is what it is. We're going to try and make our way into the ideally where I would love to finish, of course. Like, I would love to finish first. But if we look at the first position, they had 335 points. Now, I only have 2 players to go. I pretty much need like nearly perfect games from both of my players to be able to make it in there. If I could make it into the top 3, that would make me very happy. Apparently, Brazil is going to rotate massively as well. Anthony and Rodrigo are going to be playing, which are obviously 2 under 23 beasts. But then again, I think most people kind of had Vinicius Jr. locked, especially when it comes to the bigger accounts. And Vinicius Jr. might not be playing. So that could be a positive. I don't know. We'll see. Because Mbappe didn't play, came off the bench, and didn't do too well. And normally we see Mbappe at the top of the leaderboards. Whoever wins the World Cup under 23s, most of the time has either had Mbappe or Gakpo. So yeah, they are obviously a massive impact from those players and the fact that they are not playing. So this could be the perfect storm for us to make it into the rewards. Ideally, for me personally, I would just love to make it into the tier 1 range or high tier 2 rare. I'm totally fine with that. In terms of high tier 2 rares, we have players like Rovella, Ugarte, Tony Almalan, I wouldn't mind. Zorgan is a beast. I like him. Alberto Morero is apparently a huge talent, so that could be cool. There's Maja as well. Like, there are so many players I would really like from the tier 2 pool up the top. And then from tier 1, Enzo would be incredible. Enzo Lefe would be a great addition to my midfield. Ferran Jotla would be an amazing player for the attack. Joao Felix is a tier 1 now. Wow, okay. So there are plenty of players. Hakimi as well. Whoa, okay. How the hell is Destanolu in there in that pool alongside Hakimi? I really hope that gets fixed. Destanolu should be nowhere near that range. No way. Because he is not playing. Christensen is playing. Cook is playing. He should not be in there. I really hope they fix that. But yeah, the rest, Konate, beast. I would love to win a Liverpool player, man. Randall Kolomoani, I like him a lot. Nico Williams, beast. So yeah, in terms of tier ones, there are so many that I would really love to bring into my team. But guys, that is me done doing my roundup for the Sorare game weeks that we have had lately and how things are going. I am going to do another video coming up after the games are done about my redraft and the players that I want to add into my global cup journey. The first redraft has Alisson Becker and Antoine Griezmann joining me, but I'll probably make a different decision moving forward. Thank you guys, though, for watching. You guys are absolutely the best. I appreciate you all, and I can't wait to make more Sorare content for you because I just love the game. I just freaking love it. Catch you guys later. Take care, and peace.